All I have is Bacardi and vodka, but I'm making do. HBomberGuy! It doesn't work, does it? Yeah, that could have been a catchy little jingle for your name there, but it goes up on the down syllable. It's HBomberGuy. It's like HBomberGuy. Syncopate, darling. Look. HBomberGuy! Make an effort. What is virtue signaling? Well, it's a little bit like glory supporting. You know what, like when you support the Yankees, even though you live in Budapest or something, or if you support Manchester United and you live in Manchester. The City fans will get that. But of course, glory supporting is when you support the Overdog, and virtue signaling is ostensibly it's supporting the underdog. But in practice, it's when you support the status quo of history's largest empire and call it the underdog. It's when you support a multinational conglomerate that uses third world sweatshops to print t-shirts saying, "Go underdog." It's when you fly the banner for the sick whimper of the underdog, but you put your money on the howl of the overdog. See, that has to be the title now. Why isn't overdog a word? It's terrifying just by itself.
I'm seeing the accusation of virtue signalling going around a lot lately.
Yes, I'm seeing it too. It appeared on the page when you searched for it.
No, they're not criticising their skill at the rare Dreamcast Lighthouse escape game Virtua Signal.
Not a game. Virtua Fighter is the joke he's doing there. There was a... you get retro points, sir. Well done. Those are your points now. No one can take those points away from you. But let's see what you could have won. Every pun is a wormhole, a semiotic wormhole between concepts. And this one takes us somewhere rather interesting. Virtua Fighter is where you play the part of a good fighter in a game of who is the best fighter. Virtue signaling is where you play the part of a good person in a game of who is the best person. If we were having an important argument and you suddenly buggered off to play Virtua Fighter, then that would, it wouldn't necessarily lose you the argument, but it definitely wouldn't win you the argument, DSE. Nor would buggering off to play Virtue Signaler. In both cases, I'd be like, get the fuck back here and stop playing that game. It has no bearing. And no Sargon and no Anita. That would be a good game. Like I pointed out, it's what Curiosity was mostly doing in the Reasonable Questions video. You weren't, HBomberGuy. You were just being a dick, and that's fine. You can be a dick and make a point. Sometimes it even helps. But you can't make a point while virtue signaling. Any point other than, I am a virtuous person. Which is a pointless point. Unless you are the thing we're discussing. When we're supposed to be discussing broad impersonal issues, then it is virtue signaling to waste any time telling anyone you're a good person, or just signaling it, as it were. Like saying, I am against rape, and racism is bad, and I think people should get along with each other. Congratulations, you have those things in common with everyone else on the fucking planet, with whom you will ever converse anyway. You have told us nothing of value to the discussion whatsoever. Virtue signaling is when you, deliberately or otherwise, distract everyone from critically judging the subject of the argument and instead demand they all positively judge you as a person.
They're actually judging them as people.
Okay, that was super confusing. We're gonna have to repeat what you just said, having digested what I just said.
I'm seeing the accusation of virtue signalling going around a lot lately. They're actually judging them as people.
I don't know how we do this, dude. We're only 18 seconds into your video and you've already gone upside down. Someone demands to be judged as a virtuous person, and if we refuse to do that, then we're judging them as a person. And let me guess, that makes us bad people. This is... Like, I know this is a lot to ask of you, but while you're trying not to virtue signal, can you also see if you can not be a dick? For like 5 seconds.
In fact, one rational level-headed individual directly called me out for it in a long rant where he gets my name wrong.
Alright, no, fair enough, that was pushing off me. Walk before you can run, eh? How about 3 seconds?
Virtue signalling is the latest in a long line of
oh, what?
hastily propagated alt-right neo-reactionary buzzwords.
Oh, God. Okay. Alright, I can't... Right, we're going to have to look at this goddamn screenshot here. Can anyone spot what he's done wrong there? It's rather glaring, is it not? Bear in mind, if this is satire, there's no one to satirize but himself. Okay, now's another good time to remind you of the phenomenon of the homological word. A homological word is a word that describes itself. The word itself. Like quintosyllabic is a word that describes itself, for it is a word with 5 syllables. Circumlocutory is a somewhat homological word because it means wordy. Français. And more homologique parce que c'est more français. Je ne sais pas comment éviter how you say use mention error en français. And the word cliché, particularly if you pronounce it cliché, is a somewhat homological word. Similarly, the word trope and the word buzzword are at this point so overused that they have become homological. Trope is a trope and buzzword is a buzzword. Some words become homological, other words are crippled from birth. Very much. And neo-reactionary. Holy sweaty meatballs, Batman. I can't even get my head around this word. I don't have the instruments to measure this much homological condensate. Now, I'm not going to look it up. Just like I didn't have to look up neoliberal. I don't care if some dickhead said it in the 70s. I don't even care if it's in the dictionary by now. Tacking the prefix neo onto the beginning of a word is a cheap conjurer's trick used to tar one enemy with the brush of another. I am certainly unpersuaded by arguments along the lines of, what? You don't know what neo-pseudo-anti-mono-diacratic philologocracy means? People have been saying that since ancient Greece. Yes, I'm sure they have. It's Greek. Could you do me a favour and speak some English? Or, when people disagree with you, are you simply compelled to throw farcical contraptions of romantic, dare I say, neo-romantic, linguistic papier-mâché jargon at them until they go away? And that's not you being a teensy little bit reactionary, is it? And I'm aware that reactionary doesn't just mean reactive. It is related to revolutionary Europe and nowadays refers to traditional conservatives who react against new things. But, mate, this is you reacting against new things by calling them neo-reactionary. Which is, from what little I know of Greek and Latin word formations, that is neo-reactionary of you to do that. And, you know, it's like you've discovered the quickest possible way to lose at chess. It's 2 moves each, by the way. You found the quickest possible way to make yourself sound like a dense cunt. Just those 2 words. Presented as a title for something. You don't even need to say anything. All you need is this purple screen and the words neo-reactionary buzzwords, and boom, anyone who reads that immediately understands that the person who created it, in the event that they are dead serious, and whatever else they're about to say, the person who is presenting this title is without a doubt an intellectual midget with an utterly unwarranted superiority complex. You could show this to your mother and she'd try to abort you with a vacuum cleaner there and then. She's like, nope, this one's a dud. Ingrowing brain. It'll be cruel to let it live. Sleep, honey, sleep.
Yeah, I know it's a huge shame, but I guess I've technically failed.
Oh, at life, darling. I challenged you to go 3 seconds without failing, and you can't even get through 3 fucking words. Or can you? I don't know, let's press on, eh?
Including cuck.
I don't think cuck is new. Well, cuckold is certainly not new. Simply lopping off the hold might be new, but it's not very inventive, so it's certainly not neo.
Jeez.
The super Jews are gonna get you, watch out. They feed on the blood of your firstborns like it's an alien son, and their son's blood is your kryptonite. It all goes Satsuma-shaped when the super Jews are in town. And by that I mean whatever shape that little motherfucker is squashed into by the super Jews. Oy vey, oy vey.
Anti-GG.
Wow! Okay, what do I do now? What am I going to do now? Now what are those? Now those aren't neo-reactionary buzzwords, right? Now they're important terms that we need for describing the enemies of righteous goodness. Am I warm? Alright, let's put it back. This is probably hurting your head.
Or everyone who thinks harassment is bad.
What did you just do? What the fuck was the thing you just did? Early on I gave you a couple of humorous examples. I'm against rape and racism is bad. As you can hear, they may have been humorous examples, but they were eerily accurate examples. Harassment is bad, everyone. HBomberGuy is on team harassment is bad. It's official. And he's fighting the good fight against the shitlords on team I love a bit of harassment. Me, I get up in the morning and eat a hot steaming bowl of harassment. Then I harass my family, I harass my friends, and I harass the neighbour's dog. I just can't put down the harassment. I love it. This is what I mean. Harassment is a universally negative term. And you think it is an outstanding virtue to be against something universally negative. And this only makes sense to you because you've invented a subhuman enemy who believes harassment is good. Meanwhile, in reality, nobody believes harassment is good. It's just that you call it harassment whenever somebody legitimately corrects you, and you call it dialogue when you legitimately harass people. Because you're a dithering fucking AIDS pig, and I'm not falling for your rookie bullshit. Here, let's pad out this little list of yours and include that word that you said but mysteriously neglected to write down. Womp. I mean, I wasn't even seriously challenging you to be able to go 5 seconds without making a warbling simpleton of yourself. I was joking. But you actually can't do it. You can't get through a fucking sentence fragment without committing the very shit you are bitching about. How does your brain not stop you?
Literally who, if you're one of the prime targets?
How do you keep doing this? You fucking did it again. If we refuse to judge you as a virtuous person, then that means we're judging you as a person. And if we refuse to make you famous, then we are targeting you. Primarily targeting you. Like, every time you talk, you fall another mile into Upside Down Land. Fucking hell, there's 10 minutes of this. Ugh.
Betas.
Like I said, it's ancient Greek. You're describing an ancient Greek letter using a Latin word with an ancient Greek prefix. Neo-reactionary. Which, aside from anything else, is not how things are classically assembled. It's like the word television. It's half Latin, half Greek. If you're going to make words up, don't just mix and match. It's inelegant. I don't care who was the first genius to come up with the word neo-reactionary? Whoever it was, they coined it clumsily. The pure Latin term would be nova-reactionary, I think. And if you're going to insist that the word reactionary relates strictly to its modern identitarian usage, then there is no ancient Greek root for it. At this point, you're failing every 2 syllables. I imagine it's quite difficult to get all the way down to failing at every single syllable, unless you can somehow manage to contradict yourself halfway through a word. Oh wait, you just did that! Pause for unbridled laughter. And on we move.
Feminazis.
People who suck out other people's freedoms.
White knights.
People who suck out other people's agency.
Spanglers, a phrase on the up and up in the community. Get ready to be called one of those on Twitter in the near future.
Never heard of it. I think someone's trolled you there. or someone simply insulted you in an original way, and you're still blown away that anyone could do that. But while we're at it, let's throw in a few more that you missed. Misogynist. That's for people who like men. Racist. That's for people who like white people. Transphobe. That's for people who can't speak the language you just made up yesterday. Oh, and let's not forget, Islamophobic Islam apologist. Who's that for? Oh yeah, that's also for people who like men. Look at it all. There's so much nuance to the world, Mr. Bomber Guy. I can't believe how much you've been missing out on.
And of course, cultural Marxists. Oh, sorry, does that phrase have really bad implications? Shit, we better come up with a new word that means the exact same bad idea. Regressive leftists?
How about neo-reactionary? I mean, it would be an understatement to say you don't think things through. You don't even think of the thinnest film of atmosphere or the outermost crust of the things.
There, that'll do.
It's bad enough that you can't even argue with a single individual without accusing them of doing something that you yourself are presently in the process of doing. But you're one man speaking to many, much like the janitor. You are talking to and or about a large, mostly anonymous group of people. In his case, males who think they're nice. In your case, anyone who is not fiercely left-wing, it would seem. And you are baselessly accusing them all of doing something that you are in the process of doing, before everyone's very eyes in black and white and purple. You deserve nothing but laughter and pity and perhaps medication. Like, every time I do this, I'm amazed at how much wrong can be stuffed into such a small space. The boundaries of self-awareness that could be beveled down to nothing. And you've outdone yourselves. Again, I don't think this guy can even get through the first stroke of a single letter of the alphabet without somehow managing to fuck it up. This is a complete mess. We're only a minute into the video and it is already bedlam. You get wronger and wronger, faster and faster. By my calculations, by the time you're up to 2.5 minutes of this, my response will be the length of the known universe. How in Gideon's butt pipe am I supposed to get through 10 minutes of this? We gotta change the laws of physics, Jim. I'm just one man. Okay, I'm gonna sit through the rest of this. And if I find anything that satisfies or at least addresses any of the points I made, then I will press stop and reappear and thank you for filling me in on what I didn't know. If, on the other hand, I hear nothing but the playground bottom-feeding nibblings of a crotch-brained, projector-headed shitmole, then all you will see between now and the end of this video is all a very wasted me could poop together in the scarce minutes I have left to cliff-hang onto the crumbs of my will to live. I'll see you on the next side. There are E to the I pi sides. You heard me. I'll see you on side -1.
I can confirm that white knights do actually exist, and they are really weird. You only look at the facts because you want to look smart. Now the word is just another one-size-fits-all disparagement to use against people who you don't like. But isn't that men's rights activists and pick-up artists? Isn't that people who you don't like? Isn't that just another one-size-fits-all disparagement? Isn't that? It seems reductive to believe you know a person's intent. I can confirm But isn't that can confirm like a bulging, firm, veiny Ouroboros? I'm still waiting to be rewarded with sex though. I'm sure it'll happen any day now. I am smarter and better than you.